Ooh.
Ooh, Babcia, what are you doing?
I'm being spooky.
Oh, I'm scared.
Good, because our episode today is all about what you could do as a traveler for Halloween. So don't say trick or treat.
Say trick
or
travel.
travel. Cue that music. Alrighty, Terri, I'm excited because we're not going trick or treating.
We're going trick or traveling.
That's right. Let's talk about all the different spooky things we can do while we are out being a traveler.
Let's give a PSA.
Yeah.
This could be a little scary today.
It could. We don't want to frighten anybody too much today. But dark travel is what we call all the stuff that goes with the dead. Ooh. So get your
I'm giving you some background.
Thank you.
Okay.
Get your Scooby and Shaggy ready. If you're Velma, dress up, get your glasses.
Get your ghost detector app down.
This is what I'm saying. It's time to get started. And we're going to kick things off with the darkest of dark travel. We're going to some cemeteries.
I'm not going to lie. Cemeteries scare me.
Do they?
Sometimes a little spooky.
I'm a little fascinated by the whole thing. But you know what? That's why we put a PSA out there, because we don't want anybody to be too frightened. I have to say, though, there are some cemeteries that you would never believe are frightful places. The cemeteries that are in Poland are beautiful. And the graves are so well tended that they're kind of bright and colorful because there's so many flowers on all the different graves. So you kind of see it like on a hillside.
So
and
that might not scare me.
It may not scare you. It's a lovely side. It's not the Universal Nights of Horror. It's Mickey's Tricker.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
It's more like that.
You're welcome, Disney, for that little.
Yeah, you can pay us some residuals.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have one that I want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I say want. I haven't been. The Paris Underground Crypts. It just freaks me out a little bit. It's underground. It goes back to the French Revolution.
Those people were crazy.
So it's old.
It is old. And all the people were taken out of Paris. They were taken out of all their graves, and their bones were stacked in these underground catacombs. It's a little crazy, but you can go through a little door, go down there, check it all out. Very, very interesting. While we're in Paris, the most famous cemetery is just on the outskirts of Paris. It's called the Père Lachaise Cemetery. And we're going back a few years.
Okay, go back.
Going back. Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Do you think he's really dead?
Yeah, I think. Okay. The French are not going to waste their time putting a gravestone up for somebody who's maybe dead, maybe not. Yeah, I think it's good. Along with many, many other people are buried there. So a lot of literary giants like Oscar Wilde is there.
Ooh.
Yeah, a very cool place to go. And there's good walking tours for that. You can go during the daytime when it's not so spooky. And you're not going to jump out of fright, but you could enjoy it, and it's a great history lesson.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take us a little bit closer to home.
Okay.
I'm going to give us the Westminster Presbyterian Church in Baltimore, Maryland.
Ooh.
So it's also home of the Screaming Skull. A minister was murdered there, and every night, supposedly, his skull starts screaming.
Oh my God.
Take your Depends with you, people.
We're going to be scared out of our pants, huh? Okay, wet our pants, scared. Okay, I'm going to swing back the other way. I'm going to keep it going because there's a lot of cemeteries and a lot of old places like this in Europe.
And you are the overseer.
That is me. Okay. In Romania, there is a beautiful cemetery called the Mary Cemetery.
That sounds happy.
Doesn't it sound happy? Here's why it's so great. Every grave has a little rhyming epitaph. And it's like, here lies the carpenter who died of schmarpender.
So
It's
it's
like,
kind of like here's we go. Thank you again, Disney. You're
mhm.
welcome. When you go to the haunted mansion, and the little
Yes.
headstones all have the
Mhm.
little rhyming funny stuff.
Exactly. But
Excuse me.
they are completely happy painted, and they're
Oh,
super well maintained. It's like beautiful to look at too.
all right.
Yeah, I love that.
Come on back, people, to the U.S. with
Mhm.
me. We're going to take a trip to Savannah, Georgia, to the Bonaventure Cemetery.
I've been here.
Me too.
Mhm.
Supposedly, there's a roaming girl named Gracie Watson, and she died of pneumonia when she was 6 years old. It's been said that she's been seen playing around the tombstones and that her statue will cry tears of blood.
Oh my gosh. That
Ugh,
I don't remember that particular story, but, I was there for bachelorette
there
parties,
you
so
go. Never
maybe
mind.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that particular one. Okay, back across the pond, we're back in Austria now, and there is a beautiful church called St. Michael's in Hallstatt,
Okay.
which is on a beautiful lake. Part of the problem with being on the lake is that land is at a premium.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of room between the lakeside and the mountainside.
Do they stack up?
No, they don't stack up. You get buried until you have bones,
Mm-hmm.
and then your bones are taken out of the ground and they are taken to the church and artistically used in the walls of the church. It's called the Bone Church. And if you look at the Bone Chapel,
Mm-hmm.
the bones of all of the residents of Hallstatt eventually wind up there. And there's a bone chandelier, there's a bone altar, there are bone candelabras, there are bone walls, there are bone arches,
Woo!
there's bone art. It is an amazing way to see how people deal with the community and the resources around them. Kind of crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the same note, down in Italy, do you know why you call a cappuccino a cappuccino?
Well, I really don't call it a cappuccino because I don't drink coffee, but I don't know why.
So, a cappuccino was named after the Capuchin monks, and they would shave their head, like, on the top, so they
The
had a light
frost.
top where the
Did they have
froth is.
designs?
Well, no, they didn't have,
Oh,
like,
a
barista
flower.
designs.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, and then they had the fringe, which was the coffee on the side, and that's why
Mm.
it's called a cappuccino because it looked like the head of a
And
monk.
we're gonna go visit their crypts.
Well, they believed that once you were dead, you got mummified, and they would hang your body on a hook, and they're, like, hanging around. It's
No,
creepy. This is
no,
back to Universal Studios
I
and not
can't
so
do
much
that.
Disney. Yeah, and you go around and they're all there.
No,
Mhm.
I'll wait in the car.
Yeah, well, it's there and you can go see it. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about some of the more ridiculous situations you could wind up in, and I have quite a few to share with you.
Okay, I'm
There's
ready.
some crazy things that have happened. We went to Dublin, Ireland, and we visited St. Michan's Church, which is on the north side of the Liffey.
Mhm.
So this was the gimmick that they told us. You could come for a crypt tour of St. Michan's Church, and you can see some of the last crusaders that ever came back from the crusades. They're buried in the
What?
crypt in this church, and they're mummified. So, like, they're there.
Okay.
Okay. We get to this church, nobody else is there, it's just us. Flag number one.
Red
Flag,
flag.
flag number two. The guy walks in and he's got a lantern in his hand. I'm telling you, he was the guy from the Scooby Doo episode with the lantern, except he had an Irish accent. We were in tears by the time we were done from this, laughing so hard. So he takes us around the back of the church and he tells us the whole story as we're walking with a Scooby Doo Irish accent and brings us all the way around to the side. And then we go down these stone steps and he goes, "Don't take pictures. Hand me your camera for a selfie." And he's taking pictures of us, even though you're not supposed to take pictures there. And I will tell you, the creepiest part was the Crusaders' feet were hanging out of the bottom of the coffin down there.
Whoa.
It was all crazy. But anyway, it was a very Scooby Shaggy experience, which I appreciate. I value those in life. You're listening to Babcia and Yia Yia Travel the World, and we hope that you are enjoying today's conversation. We invite you to become part of our travel community, so head on over to babciaandyiaya.com. That's BABCIA and YIA. And subscribe to our blog so that you can be kept in the loop as we talk about destinations and how to make travel a priority in your daily life. Whether you are travel dreaming or you've got boarding passes in your hand, we've got resources, plans, and plenty of inspiration to get you ready for whatever adventure awaits. You can find us on all the social media at Babcia and Yia Yia, and we hope that we see you there. On the complete other side of the Irish Sea, we were at Stirling Castle, and my lovely teenage daughter and my teenage niece were with us, and they went off to go and investigate and explore. The next thing I know, we have them running back toward us to report in everything that they found. They are excited beyond belief. Why? Why, you ask? Because there's a swing in the cemetery, and they are swinging on it.
Who would not want to do that?
I just don't understand why a swing would be in the cemetery. But you know what, Scotland? You do you.
You do you, boo.
You do you. That's what I'm saying. Now, this is a crazy story. I read a book on this. Did you know that one of Nelson Rockefeller's sons was eaten by cannibals in Papua New Guinea?
Now, it doesn't surprise me over in Papua New Guinea, cannibalism.
No, it's known to be there.
I did not know about Rockefeller being eaten. How do they do that?
Well, apparently he was on a river. Have you seen Jungle Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was on a river, and somehow, some way, he shipwrecked.
Do they cook you, or do they eat raw, like sushi?
I don't know.
Huh?
Someone let us know that. Yes, if you have information about that, we would like to know. I really don't know the answer. Anyway, he wound up not being found ever again, and the popular story is
he was eaten.
Cannibals. Okay. One of the best ghost tours I ever went on, it's not really a ghost tour, but it is kind of spooky, is Il Passetto.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound great?
It does.
Where do you think that is?
Italy.
You're right. Bing, bing. That's right. Il Passetto is the passageway between the Vatican and the Castel Sant'Angelo. And if you watch the Da Vinci Code, it's where they escape. Yeah.
Now you just gave away.
I really didn't, in all honesty, because
spoiler alert.
Okay, for a 15-year-old movie. Yay! Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole night tour that you can take that explains why the Il Passetto, this passageway that links literally in modern times 2 different nations, how it links all of the history together and how the Castel and the Vatican work together. It's super neat. Lots of great stories. Totally worth the time. Yeah.
Let's get into ghost tours. These are some of my favorite. They're cheesy, but sometimes they're really spooky.
Some of the ghost tours that are out there are some of the best time that you could spend in particular places. And we have a list of what we think are the best.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You go.
We're going to start with the closed ghost tours of Edinburgh, Scotland. They are amazing. They just know what they're doing. If ghost tours were invented in a specific place, it would be this place.
Now, let me tell you, Jack the Ripper tour, I took the Jack the Ripper tour in London. It was a walking tour.
Yeah.
What's scary is that you know about Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the guy that went and killed the ladies of the night.
That's right.
Right. But it's spooky because you're walking and it's dark, and this is where Jack the Ripper was.
So you're walking in those footsteps.
Walking in his footsteps.
Woo. Oh my gosh. Now, we've talked about Savannah, Georgia. There are just so many goofy tours there, and they're all good.
Savannah's great for all that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if that's your thing, Savannah's a great starting point for that. Bremen, Germany has what's called the Night Watchman Tour. Ooh.
That's almost like Winter is Coming, Game of Thrones.
Thank you. Yes, and the Night Watchman comes with the lantern and the axe because he's the executioner.
What?
Yeah, and he's got the thing, and he takes you all around the town and tells you about all the different stories that happened in Bremen. Oh. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, probably the OG of American spooky stories is this next city.
Salem, Massachusetts.
There it is, right there, ground zero.
Why though?
Well, for many reasons.
Well, the witch hunt.
Let's start with the Salem witch trials.
Yes.
Right. And you know what? Just recently in the news, the last accused person, the last accused woman was legally exonerated.
Let me tell you this. Yeah. You didn't know this about me. Back in my history, I had a family member that escaped the witch trials.
What?
Thank you, Ancestry.com.
There you go. That's amazing. Wow.
So I could be like a little witch.
I've been to Salem a couple of times. Can I just say this? Don't go to the Hocus Pocus house.
Okay.
All it is the outside of the house. It's not good. There's no sisters there. You're not going to get.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the experience you think it's going to be.
Okay. Well, close to me, St. Augustine.
Yes.
Tons of tours, night tours, spooky tours, cemeteries. Well, I went on a haunted pub crawl. Let me just say, everybody's given a ghost detector and you get drinks at every pub you go to. So as the night gets on, it gets way better.
Yes.
Seeing adult women with a drink in their hand and a ghost detector trying to find ghosts. It's great. It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
And I think that's the spirit of this. Get it? The spirit of this. Yes. Is have a good goofy time. Yes. That's what this is all about, right? Hey, we also want to let everybody know that there are tons of haunted castles out there to be on the lookout for. If you plan on visiting a castle of any sort, get on their website, check out what's available in the evening. You never know what the possibilities can be. And if you're going to be in the British Isles, one of the things you want to look out for and always ask in a castle, this is serious advice, is there a priest hole? Do you know what a priest hole is?
A hole that a priest goes in?
That's right. Sometimes aristocratic families were secretly Catholic in the British Empire, and you weren't allowed to be. And they would have a priest come and say mass in their house. But if there was going to be a raid, they had to get the priest out somehow. So there'd be like a secret passageway for the priest to go in, and they call it a priest hole. I know.
The priest is kind of in the closet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, the other thing you should look out for in any castle, and you should always ask, the older the castle, the better. Are there murder holes? What are murder holes?
Where you kill someone and then you shove them in a hole.
Well, you don't shove them in a hole, but whatever's going to kill them is going to come out of that hole. It could be arrows, hot oil, any kind of stuff, and they shoot it down when you're walking underneath it. So always ask your guide, are there murder holes or priest holes in this castle or this palace? You never know. Good advice.
Good advice.
Very good advice. Now, the most important thing we can say as travelers about Halloween, I cannot overstate this enough.
Okay. This is in capital letters and highlighted.
Maybe even bold print.
Bold print too.
Okay. Halloween starts in Ireland. Check out our shows on Ireland because we'll get you to all the fun spots. That's right. Halloween was actually a pagan festival that was in Ireland well before anybody was trick-or-treating or trick-or-traveling at all. There you go.
All right, guys, get out there and trick-or-travel.
Woo! All right, it's our favorite time of an episode. It's now boarding Halloween style. Ooh, that's right. Listen to our good sound effects. Hey, let's start with a now boarding global book pick.
Let's do, because books are one of my faves.
Always.
All right, so the one I have for you, since we're spooky time, is 199 cemeteries to see before you die.
I love that.
It's a beautiful travel guide, though, that gives you the world's most visited cemeteries. It has gorgeous photography and tells about the unique history and the residents and all that good stuff. So definitely read it if you like the spooky stuff.
And listen, just like shopping for a house, you want to know all your options before you commit.
Yep.
Before you die there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Hey, I want to let everybody know travel guides are always trying to make sure that they reach every reader that they have. So those big market travel guides always, always, always have a couple of super good spooky options to go for.
And if you like the spooky.
Exactly. So we're talking your good ghost tours, your cemetery walks, all of those kind of things. They're in those big guides. Don't think that you can't find them. They're always available. What about a travel tip?
Well, when you're going out and you're traveling and you always go and you tour all these castles and the palaces and it's all great during the day, you need to check out what they offer as night tours, because sometimes they'll have those spooky, ghosty, haunted tours that you can take at night and see that place in a whole different light.
Or non-light.
As
the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay. I say make sure you take the cemetery walks in the famous cemeteries. They have never been a disappointment to me. Even though it sounds like it's a little bit of dark travel, and I get that, fine. I have to tell you, one of the best ones is the Père Lachaise Cemetery audio guide from our buddy Rick Steves. He may not know how to check his bag, but he gives a good walking tour.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. What about travel tech for you?
Travel tech. I like the Ghost Detector Pro. It's an app you can put on your phone. It supposedly will read the sound waves, and if you're a ghost hunter.
Oh, so it'll let me know if someone's in the area?
Yes.
I love that kind of Scooby Shaggy kind of fun. That's right. Jeepers, Mr. Boinkers is here. Exactly. Speaking of having a few friends in the area that you may or may not know are present, let's talk a little Teresa Caputo, because, girl, I love her so much. I can't get enough.
And if you listen, Teresa, Babcia would really like to have a reading with you.
Yes, I would. I would like to contact my grandfather. Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's completely ridiculous. I think he was part of a government spy agency, and I'll never be able to find out, and I think he knows a lot of stuff. So, yes, I really do. I really do.
Illuminati.
Yes, that's my travel binge. What is your travel binge?
I did the murder mystery with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. It's not spooky. It's funny.
It is so funny. I mean, talk about a ridiculous premise.
It's a no-brainer. You're just going to laugh.
Exactly. Love it. The travel industry has taken quite a blow from several global issues, including the war in Ukraine, the COVID-19 crisis, and inflation, that makes it hard for people to get out into the world like they want to. At this point, leading experts are predicting that it is going to take up to 3 years for the travel industry to bounce back to full force. One way that you can help is to like and subscribe to 10 microbloggers. Start with us. You can like and subscribe to our podcast and our website so that you can tell the travel industry that people are still interested in travel. So, Terri, how can listeners get a hold of us?
We'd like to hear from you. Contact us at babcianyaya@gmail.com with your questions, suggestions, favorite travel tips, products, and travel trends so that we can share your ideas in the future. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Here you go, guys. Babcia and Yia Yia. BABCIA and YIA.
BabciaandYia.com is the home base for everything that we love about travel. And it's where we store our show notes as well as many of the resources that we offer to our travel community, including travel literacy for the kiddos. We always have new posts about all the things we love and about all the travel we're up to, including today's topic, as well as features on destinations, travel lifestyle, and stories to make you smile.
Didn't get all that? Just check out our show notes for all of the ways to stay in touch and links to anything we chatted about in this episode. As always, thanks for joining us for our journey.